Example number 2. The mean age of 20 youth volunteers in a community project is 17 years with a standard deviation of 2 years. If this sample comes from a normal distribution, meaning it's normally distributed, and with a 95% confidence level, what is the range of the mean age of youth? So, meaning you're referring to the range or the interval, okay? The confidence interval of the mean age of the youth volunteers. So, we need to determine the 95% confidence interval. So, interval is, how do we write the interval? Population mean, or the mu, is greater than sample minus the margin of error, but less than sample plus the margin of error. So, in the given problem, your sample mean is 17. Okay. The mean age of 20 volunteers is 17. Your sample is 20. The mean age of 20 volunteers, so that's your sample. Okay. And then the standard deviation is 2 years. So what is unknown? We already have the sample mean. The unknown is E, the margin of error. So since the sample size is less than 30, and then the sigma is unknown, okay, so we're gonna use T distribution, okay, less than 30, so 20 lang yung sample size, so we need to use T distribution. So we have T alpha over 2 multiplied by S over the square root of N. But what is T alpha over 2? Okay, 95%. So to determine the T alpha over 2, determine the degree of freedom, which is N minus 1. What is your degree of freedom? So 20 minus 1, that will be 19. Okay, so you do have 95%. So using the table, okay, so use the table. So 95%. So ito pa rin, 95%. It says 20 minus 1. DF is 19. So your DF is 19. So DF is 19, and then 95%. So this one, 95%. So your T alpha over 2 is 2.093. So 2.093. Use the T distribution table. Okay, so we can now solve for the margin of error. So 2.093 multiplied by the standard deviation, which is 2, over the square root of 20. So therefore, your margin of error is 0.94. Okay, 0.94. So 0.94. So what will be your interval? Interval will be population mean is greater than sample minus the margin of error, but less than the sample plus the margin of error. So population mean is greater than, what is your sample mean? Sample mean is 17. So 17 minus 0.94 is less than 17 plus 0.94. So the population mean is greater than 16.06 but less than 17.94. Okay, so that's the interval. Therefore we're looking for what? We're looking for 95%. So therefore, what is the interpretation? 95% confidence interval. The mean age of youth volunteers is between 16.06 and 17.94 years old. Okay? Years old. Since we're talking about age, so you just remain your answer like this. You don't need to round it off because we're talking about age of the person. So you do have 16.06 and 17.94 years old. Okay, that's it. So that's the difference between Z distribution and the T distribution. So if you do have questions, feel free to email me